What's going on, G-Ballers? Today I have an exciting new knife here to share with you, coming into us from Kershaw. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your EDC is for today. Now, this is going to be a third quarter release for Kershaw. It is the new launch Iridium, and originally this was a Chinese OEM project with Kershaw, but since then they have released a couple of automatic versions, and they are going to be made in the US. Now, this is going to be sporting Magna Cut, and we really got to give Kershaw a round of applause here in 2025. Not only have they really revived the Kershaw line, but also the ZT line, and while doing that, they've been using some really good quality steels like Magna Cut, like Crewware, M4, some superb steels in my opinion. Now, this is going to have all the characteristics of the previous launch series knives. We have that really nice drop point blade. This one's going to have a black wash finish, and as far as I have seen, this is going to be the only black washed Iridium auto that you can get your hands on as of right now. Now, this is going to have really nice black G10 for the handle material, and then we have an aluminum backspacer here with a deep carry steel rollover clip, and that is going to be left hand friendly. Kershaw does a great job with their standard deep carry clips that they use. I could do without the Kershaw, as I always say, but no big deal. This knife is going to come in under 175 bucks, and just based on it being USA made alone, that's going to, that costs just a certain amount right there. But then you factor in it's an auto, it's in Magna Cut. That really is going to introduce a higher price. But Kershaw is able to keep the price very fair on these knives. Now, in regard to the automatic action or the push button action, I would say it's right in line with most of the other Kershaw knives that I have. Some are, I would say they're within a very fine range, and it's smooth, it's consistent. As soon as you push down on the button, it's going to release out. I don't really like to compare so much across different companies because they're all good in a sense, and it really is dependent on what you might consider good. Some people just want a consistent, smooth, fluid opening action. They don't necessarily want the spring shooting so hard that the knife feels like it's gonna flip out of your hand. And then there are people who want that. So it just kind of depends on where you lie. I would say the action is good to go. If you're expecting like super hard, strong action, you're not going to quite get it out of this knife right here. But I've always been pleased with the push button action from Kershaw. It's always been consistent, smooth. It's well done. And I feel like if they wanted to, they could easily increase that. So I feel like they have it somewhere where they like it and the customer base seems to like it as well. I wouldn't be opposed to it being a little stronger, and I would be fine with it staying right where it is. So ultimately, this video here is just to introduce another version of the Iridium. Everything is going to be identical, 7 7/8 overall, 3 1/4 inches of cutting edge, 3 1/2 inches of total blade, and there's no shortage of different Iridium variations. And without knowing it, I was checking out a few of them earlier. And I wasn't necessarily planning on doing this video, but there are a ton of different Iridium knives out there. I'll try to link what I can down in the description in regards to different versions. And you can see here, these are the crossbar lock variants. And this isn't all of them, but this is the original with D2 aluminum. Very solid for a $50-$60 knife. This is Chinese OEM'd, and this is a Kershaw exclusive in titanium with that sheep split style blade. I forget what, S35 maybe? Yeah, S35 and titanium. Kershaw website exclusive, I believe, for this one here. And then they've also done a launch Iridium before, which we have right here. And you'll see this has that really heavy stone wash and aluminum handles. So pretty cool from Kershaw what they're doing. And I believe they have other versions as well. Different colored aluminums, different colored G10s. This one you can tell is significantly lighter than the aluminum. Aluminum's light as well, but G10, it's just a lighter material. It's very durable. You're still getting the aluminum backspacer here with the new G10 version. They're both going to be very comfortable. Some people don't want the aluminum. They just don't want it. They feel like it's slippery. So this G10 definitely has some good grip to it. It's got actually some micro milling in it. So that way that's going to also aid in some good grip on the handle there. Very, very good knife. And I like what Kershaw has been doing, revamping some of these other designs, putting out some fresh new designs as well, and really using a good cast of steels. I did want to get this one out and see what I thought of the action, because like I said, there is a fine line on the variants from one to the next. I would say they're all relatively pretty close. I can say, now this one's been carried and used quite a bit, so it's pretty well broken in. This one, just out of the box, so definitely could break in and get a little stronger. That actually does happen. I would say the original one here feels like it's a little stronger, but this one feels a little bit more fluid, I guess I would say. It feels like there's better control over the button. Like as soon as you push down on this one, that you can feel the blade starting to fire out. Where this one, there's a little bit of take up, and then you get to, so just kind of depends on what you're looking for, and they could differ from one to the next if you were to buy both, right? One could be, so hey, he might just have to find, you know, the perfect one for you if the action and, you know, what you're looking for. Some people might find that this one here is too strong. So it's just going to be an individual based thing, and it's probably very hard for the companies to judge, because a young man in his 20s, you know, he might want something crazy strong and fast, where, you know, maybe someone that's a little older, they don't want something like that. They do want an auto, but they want it to be, you know, a little bit lighter and just smooth and definitely going to deploy. That's one thing I've always found with Kershaw's too, is they are going to deploy. You're not going to have issues with them. And I feel like this one will break in. I think that black wash could have something to do with it being, you know, kind of being slow in a sense. But I think as this breaks in, I can only assume it'll get stronger, because this one was pretty close to like that one is there as far as the speed in which it comes out. And I could get a couple of others out from Kershaw that they're all going to be a little different, but they're all pretty close, if that helps explain anything. Somebody who's much more versed in the launch series might be able to help you know, put a little bit more information into the action, but I've always been under the assumption they've all been pretty close to each other. We'll get the arch nemesis out here, and we'll give this new Iridium a weight check here, and it's going to come in under that aluminum. I'm kind of interested. We like to guess the weight here, though, and I invite you to play along, put your guess down in the comments. You don't have to edit an old comment or edit a comment. Just put a new one down there. The more the merrier, I promise. It is a-okay. It really helps. The more comments, the better off. Now, I'm going to guess and probably be horribly wrong, but I'm going to say they kept it at like a 3.1. Oh! Oh, man. I thought I was on point. I was close. That's pretty damn close. 2.9 to 3 ounces. It's probably 2.95, 2.96. So it's struggling. 0.18, 84 grams. I don't know why I was reading that. So yeah, it is very light for the size of this knife here. Because we're getting 3.5 inches of total blade, and it's actually even a little longer than I initially said. It's actually more like 8 inches on the nose. I think I said 7/8, so that was a mistake on my part as well. So good size, 8 inches, and coming in at a good weight as well. Ratio people will be very happy about that. Beautiful blade shape on the Iridium. Now for the handle thickness, we'll take a look. We have 0.47 and 11.9 millimeters. For the blade stock, we're looking at 3 millimeters and 119 thousandths. We'll pick a random spot here and we'll get a measurement on the behind the edge, and it's coming in about 29 thousandths there. So a little bit thicker than what we typically see there. And it's going to be like 0.69 millimeters or so. So a little bit thicker than what we would typically see out of a normal EDC. And I think that is because this is intended to be more of a hard user in a sense. It's an auto, you know what I mean? I think it's more intended for that. Let's see if these are, I think these are going to be, well, that's a little thinner, actually. So they might switch them up based on, yeah, 21 thousandths. So it's almost like they're switching it up based on what the design actually is. See, that one's down around 105. So that auto is intentionally, yeah, another 22, which is average. Seeing this up at 29, I think that's saying that they designed this to be a little bit more robust. Let's see how this bad boy cuts out of the box. We have our standard catalog paper here. It'll definitely be a good poker for sure. Ooh. Wowzer. That is very, very good. Very, very good. That has me almost speechless as far as how good that edge is. I wasn't anticipating that. This is an awesome design, and like I said, I love what Kershaw is doing. So let's go ahead and we'll get old Trusty out here, and We'll check this lock. I don't think we're going to run into any issues with this guy. Doesn't feel like there's any wiggle in there. Let's go ahead. We'll give this a couple of shots. See what we're looking at here. Give it an old triple tap out towards the tip. Give it another one in the middle there. Couple of good shots. Very good. Sounds good. Very good. Make sure everything is running smoothly. Look how it fires from there. It's almost like it needs a little bit of breaking in right there off the start, because once it gets going, it comes out of there pretty good. Feels like it's breaking in as I keep pushing it as well, or I'm just psyching myself out. Either way, feels like it's getting a little better as far as the action department goes. I'd be interested to hear Kershaw's thoughts on what do they look at in regards to how to strengthen those springs. What are they looking to accomplish, I guess, would be the question. Probably something for everyone, something everyone can handle would be my guess. You'll have to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think of the Kershaw Iridium Auto here, fully USA made? I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to continue to see awesome knife and EDC content every single day, make sure you're subscribed. Have an awesome day. I'll pop a couple of videos up on your screen. Go check one of them out. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.